We've all dreamed of having a superpower at one time or another. Some of us wish we could travel back in time, mainly to get away from 2020. And others want to be able to fly or become invisible. But we know it'll never happen. Or could it? From a magnetic man to a man with cold immunity, here are 15 people with superhuman abilities. Number 15. Zhou Tingjue, Grand Master. Western medicine and science are two things we rely upon in a lot of situations, but that doesn't mean they're the only way to explain things or solve problems. Zhou Tingjue, the Grand Master, is proof of that. Zhou Tingjue is a Kung Fu, Qigong, and Tai Chi Grand Master, and he has continued to amaze everyone he meets with his unique abilities. They defy the laws of physics and pretty much seem impossible. He's doing things that very few people, if any, have done before. He can generate heat from his hands to the point of boiling, and even stand on thin sheets of paper without going through them. You might think he relies on trickery or camera work, but this man is the real deal. He has appeared on Ripley's Believe It or Not, Stan Lee's Superhumans, and that's incredible. Scientists have studied Zhou Tingjue for decades and have verified what he can do. He is also a traditional healer and claims to be able to dissolve tumors, heal chronic injuries, and treat diseases thought to be incurable. He is considered the treasure of the nation in China and has used his powers to treat athletes, dignitaries, celebrities, and even the Dalai Lama. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Now, it's time for the star topic. Remember when Peter Parker got bitten by a spider and became Spider-Man with powers? Well, rumor has it, something incredibly odd happened to this woman to give her super strength. Most people hitting their head into a shipping container would end up with a bruise, maybe even a concussion. But this lady manages to cause a dent in the shipping container and she's completely okay. According to some sources, the woman in question was part of a medical experiment that left her with an incredibly strong head. The photo circulated Japan, and some people believe it is real. Does this strong woman really exist, or is it just a hoax? Comment down below with the hashtag StarTopic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 14. Michael Lotito. If someone told you they ate an airplane, you'd probably give them a phone number to get some help. That's impossible. There isn't even a good airplane sauce, and no one can eat an aircraft unless it's of the gummy variety. But once you see what Michael Lotito was capable of, you may start to realize that maybe it is possible. Michael was a French entertainer who was born with an extra thick stomach lining. He also had a psychological disorder called pica, which makes you eat things that aren't necessarily nutritious or even edible.
He's actually eating metal pieces of car.
He started eating weird things at about 16 years old, and doctors soon realized that his thick stomach lining and intestines meant that hard and sharp objects wouldn't cause injury. He also had powerful digestive juices that were capable of digesting such materials too. So powerful, in fact, that if he ate something soft like eggs or bananas, he got sick. Michael became a performer and started eating metal, glass, rubber, and much more. He even cut up and ate things like TVs, shopping carts, and bicycles. But the biggest thing he ever ate was a Cessna 150. It took him 2 years to eat it, and he suffered no ill effects. However, he died of natural causes at age 57 in 2007. Number 13. Stephen Wiltshire. Stephen Wiltshire is an incredible human being, and he has a unique talent that many of us could only dream of having. Stephen was born in London, England, and was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3.
He was diagnosed with autism at age 3, did not speak until he was 5.
He was mute when he was young and attended Queen's Mill School in London, where he started showing an interest in drawing. By the age of 7, he could sketch landmark London buildings and would remember all the details just by looking at a photo and memorizing it. He still wasn't talking by this age, so instructors would take away his art supplies to encourage him to ask for them. His first words were paper and pencil, and he could speak fully by the time he was 9. Since then, he has become a well-known artist with an incredible eye for detail. In 2006, he was even named a member of the Order of the British Empire for services to the art world. He has worked on some outstanding cityscapes and landscapes, and it's clear to see that Steven definitely has some kind of superhuman ability. Number 12. Lu Thao Lin. Malaysian man Lu Thao Lin is turning heads everywhere he goes. And it's not because he has 2 heads or extra limbs. He is known as the Magnet Man because he can stick metal objects to his skin and have them stay in place. So if Lu Thao Lin goes to a restaurant, he can store his cutlery on his body. How cool is that? It's definitely a superhuman ability. Lu can stick metal objects on his body that weigh up to 4.4 pounds each, or nearly 80 pounds in total. He shows off his unique ability at charity events and to anyone who wants to see it. He's even been able to pull a car by using his skin. So what's the trick? Does he have magnets under his skin? Strangely enough, no. There is no source of magnetism on Lu's body at all. Don't worry, we checked. Scientists from Malaysia's University of Technology found absolutely no magnetic field on Lu's body, but what they did discover was a high level of friction. They believe his skin provides a suction effect. As it turns out, he's not the only one. The trait seems to be genetic, for his 3 grandchildren can also do this astounding magic trick. Number 11. Veronica Cedar. If Veronica Cedar's unique ability can't be classed as superhuman, then nothing can be. Just looking at Veronica, you wouldn't know that she has eyesight that can redefine the human eye's capability. While most of us can see about 20 feet away clearly at best, Veronica can view intricate details up to around a mile away, if not further. It wasn't until she was a student at Stuttgart University in West Germany that her unique talent was shown. The university claimed that she could distinguish people 1 mile ahead of her and measure their distance from her position. So while our vision is at best 20/20, Veronica's is 22. Basically, that means she could write a 10-page letter on a postage stamp and read it. She even proved her skill by writing a 20-verse poem on a piece of paper the size of her nail, then reading it in front of her professors without a magnifying glass. But her unique superhuman abilities didn't end there. Most people see a color made up of 3 primary colors: red, blue, and green. Veronica can see them by each component. Despite her talent, she leads an ordinary life and is a dentist in West Germany. Number 10. Shakuntala Devi. Learning mathematics is hard work. There's so much to learn and know, and it can take such a long time to do any equations. That's why most of us use our phones, computers, and calculators rather than try and work most things out by hand. But back in the 1970s and 80s, you didn't need a calculator. You just had to ask Shakuntala Devi. Throw almost any math question her way and she'd shoot back an answer in no time at all.
That's my answer. What does the pie set have to say?
It's the same.
It's correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
She was an Indian mathematical wizard that people used to call the human computer. She was also well known on radio, TV, in colleges, and theaters. In 1977, Shakuntala could extract the 23rd root of a 201-digit number in just 50 seconds, which beat a UNIVAC computer which took 62 seconds. Then, just 3 years later, she multiplied 2 13-digit numbers and reached a correct answer in 28 seconds. This feat earned her a spot in the 1982 Guinness Book of World Records and recognition around the world. In 2013, Shakuntala Devi died of respiratory and cardiac problems in Bangalore, India at age 83. Number 9. Dean Karnazes. How far do you think you could run if you were pushed? 1 mile? 10 miles? 20 miles? If you're Dean Karnazes, you'd have those distances knocked out by breakfast. Dean started running for fun when he was a child, and then he just didn't stop. By the age of 11, he had hiked the Grand Canyon rim to rim and climbed Mount Whitney. At 12, he cycled 40 miles to his grandparents without telling his parents. He just loved pushing himself. By the time he was an adult, that hadn't changed. He runs marathon lengths every day and spends his entire day on his feet. But he doesn't just stop with regular marathons either. He ran a marathon in each of the 50 states in 50 consecutive days.
50 marathons in 50 states in 50 days.
Then he even ran a marathon in the South Pole in negative 13-degree temperatures without snowshoes. But that wasn't challenging enough for Dean. He has competed in the 199-mile The Relay Run from Calistoga to Santa Cruz a whopping 11 times. Then, in 2005, and without any sleep, he ran 350 miles in just 80 hours and 44 minutes. Dean is definitely proof that it's possible to have superhuman abilities. The man's crazy. Number 8. Daniel Kish. There are an estimated 39 million blind people in the world, and Daniel Kish is one of them. But while some people get around with seeing eye dogs, Daniel relies on both a cane and echo